Thereafter, let me move on to say something about some events that happened in recent days. But perhaps first, let me address the reason why we have taken so long to respond. Our Shaykh, may Allah have mercy upon him, he taught us to treat other people well, those who treat you well and those who do not. So we have been patient with the lies and slanders of others, trying to resolve the issue peacefully and diplomatically in the interest of the community and in consultation with the elders. We have tried to do this even after our face-to-face meeting with some of the liars, but sadly the lies and slanders have continued. Thus, we have had no choice but to defend ourselves. In Halifax, there is somewhat of a local travel agent by the name of Dastagir, who has tricked some people, in particular some women and some youth, into thinking that he is a scholar. And through him offering them ta'weed to help them with their personal problems and the like, he has been taken to be a peer, a spiritual leader by some of them. One of his most recent marketing stunts to get himself publicity was to tell lies about others, which we now even have him on camera admitting to his lies. So watch this space. This man has used the honorable Masjid platform. He has used the offer of tours to great honorable sites of the world, such as to Mecca and Medina, to play on people's emotions, just so that they can make money, just so that he can make money out of them. On Saturday night, on the 9th of September 2023, in the Honorable Road Street Masjid, Dastagir launched an unprovoked attack. He labeled many Muslims as being misguided. He launched a barrage of lies against me, my parents, and other Sunni Muslim brothers and sisters. Having spoken personally to the management committee of the masjid, I was told that this man did not have permission to speak against me or other Muslims in the Halifax community. Not just that, he had dishonored the status of an honorable place, Road Street Masjid, by telling clear, blatant lies while pretending he is sincere and caring for the community standing on the masjid platform. I wanted to meet this man face to face, this man who had slandered me and many other innocent Muslims. Other brothers went to the masjid time and time again to meet him, but they did not find him. I was then told by the mosque committee that he is not able to meet us for around 4 days. In fact, until Wednesday the 13th of September after Dhuhr. Then this was changed to after Isha, and then changed from being in one house to the masjid, back to another house, then 1 hour before the event at another house. We accepted all of these changes that were proposed by Dastagir. So he had plenty of time to prepare. Among his lies, that he claimed that I swore at his Sheikh Ahmad Raza Khan al-Brailwi. Yet despite me asking him repeatedly for the evidence, he was unable to provide it. Not just that, we have evidence of his followers calling our Sheikh a dog, but this did not prevent us from sitting down for peaceful dialogue with these individuals. Thereafter, the reality is that he and some of his followers do not even follow their own Sheikh Ahmad Raza Khan on many issues upon which we and he agree. They go against him. Dastagir also sought to spread further divisions among the Ummah by claiming you are only a real Sunni if you accept Sheikh Ahmad Raza Khan as the Mujaddid, the renewer of the last century, forgetting perhaps that there are hundreds of millions of Sunni Muslims all over the world, from China to Indonesia, from Morocco to Africa and elsewhere, all of whom have probably not even heard his name, bar maybe with the exception of a handful of individuals in these other countries. Dastagir lied about me. He lied about, as I said, my parents. What he said about me doesn't really bother me too much. He claimed that I'm not a real doctor. And he even lied about my parents, claiming that I did not accept their nikah, their marriage contract, as valid because they did not recite the kalimas properly. He's a liar. He also lied and said that he invited us to come and speak to him. And then he lied and said that he had offered to come and speak to us. And then he lied that we deny the great status of the companions, amongst many other lies. During my face-to-face meeting with him, I called him a liar to his face perhaps more than a dozen times. And he was not able to defend himself. I even said to him, if you're truthful, defend yourself. And he wasn't able to. Again and again, I challenged him. The only pathetic defense that he came up with was to say, I've not come here to give evidence or to present my evidence. I don't have my evidence with me. But then I responded to him, I'm not asking you for religious references for which you need to perhaps look them up in a book, but I'm asking you about your basis for making the false allegations against me and other innocent Muslims. However, he could not defend himself, and then instead he added to his lies, and he claimed, wal-iyadhu billah, that we insult our mother, Lady Aisha, radiyallahu anha, the mother of the believers. He then claimed that he had spoken against my parents because I had spoken against Lady Aisha, who was his mother. And this is a lie. And it is not in compliance with the rules of the religion. There are many things that I can say in response to this. But take note of even this simple fact. Lady Aisha radiyallahu anha, she is the mother of all of the believers. That is, of all of the Muslims in this ummah. So she is not just his mother, but she, in this meaning, is the mother of every Muslim. As to what we say about Lady Aisha radiyallahu anha, then his reality is this. He couldn't even say her name properly. He was saying Aisha. Imagine a person who cannot even say the name of their mother properly. And this is not just a petty point, because Lady Aisha is our mother. And we want people to say her name properly and respectfully. It's not just a game. We are people of the truth. We adhere to the truth. Lady Aisha radiyallahu anha, she is the fifth best of all women and the most knowledgeable woman ever. One of the greatest of the awliya, greater than our shaykh. And to insult her or curse her would be an enormous sin. Thereafter, Dastagir, he claimed that we go around giving fatwas of kufr against everyone. And this is a lie. Among what he claimed is that we say that if someone said that the rahmah of Allah is everywhere, then this is kufr. However, the reality is that in the book of his own shaykh, in Fatawa Rizwiya, it mentions that the rahmah of Allah is the attribute of Allah. And to say that this is physically everywhere, it is kufr. This is because the reality of the situation is this, that the signs of the rahmah, the signs of the mercy of Allah are all around us, and not that Allah or His attributes dwell inside the creation. Not just this, in the recording that will be uploaded soon, you can see one of his disciples who did the video recording for him calling me a kafir twice. On what basis did he do that? On what basis did he call me a kafir? What statement of kufr did I utter that even his own sheikhs did not hold me to task for in front of everybody? Had they been able to do so, they would have done it. What's he going to now say to his disciple who said that statement about me? It's in the recording. He said, kafir, kafir. Allah exposed him and those around him. I also quoted for Dastagir then from also Fatawa Rizwiya, in which it correctly mentions about the kufr of the one who claims that Allah is physically everywhere and who worships something that they've imagined in their minds, which he calls in the book Vemi Ma'bud, an imaginary God. This is because some people, they make things with their hands and then they worship those things. Some others, they make something up in their mind, something imaginary, and then they worship that. This is an imaginary God that they've formed in their minds, and then they worship it. In Fatawa Rizviya, when he said, Vemi Ma'bud, this is what he was referring to. Perhaps some people, though, did not understand this issue. So let me clarify for them further. Let it be known that if somebody says, La ilaha illallah, and by the word Allah, they refer to something that lives up in the sky, or something that they claim is physically everywhere, something imaginary that lives inside me and you and all around us, then such people, they are kafirs. And this is why Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq, the Imam of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, who lived over 1200 years ago, he said, the one who claims that Allah is in something, on something, or from something, then such a person is a mushrik, a kafir. He's not worshipping Allah, but rather he's worshipping that is other than Allah. Why? Because he said if Allah was on something, it would mean that he is carried. If he was in something, then he would be contained. And if he was from something, then he would be created. And this is clear blasphemy. So this man, Ghulam Dastagir, he's told lie upon lie, just for the sake of fame and trying to spread hatred within the community. If one learns the religious knowledge, then one can protect oneself and one's family from falling victim to fraudsters, just as is indicated in the ayahs of the Quran. Thereafter, if there is something truly wrong in me, I want to know before I die.